Welcome to Simply Stylish DIY, where we take ordinary to extraordinary. Welcome back to Simply Stylish DIY. Today we'll be making a navy floral decoupage napkin flower box. For this fun and easy craft, you'll need a wooden storage box from any craft store, also some pretty napkins of your choice, some florals of your choice, some little wire cutters, a small little wooden dowel. You'll also need a piece of foam, Mod Podge, and a sponge brush. Today we're going to be making this beautiful decoupaged flower box. I think you're going to love how fun and easy this is. We're going to be using napkins. I picked these napkins up at Dollar Tree. I love the color in these. They were in the summer section. They have a lot of the greens and corals with a background of navy. I thought we'd incorporate a lot of those colors into the flowers once we get the box covered with the napkin. I'm going to go ahead and take off the clasp here on the front with this little screwdriver set. Once we have it decoupaged and it dries, we're going to put that back on just to give it a little bit more charm. Once I have all those little pieces taken off, I'm just going to set those aside to put on after we're finished. I'm going to take this napkin. It's a 2-ply napkin. Make sure that you do not use the white piece in the inside. You just want that little thin outside sheet. I'm going to see how much coverage I can get with each napkin. I'm going to lay it over the top of the box and see if I can position it in a way on the back side that I can cover up that little edge of the top of the box, also the edges on the side and in the lid. I'm going to take some paint in a few minutes and paint the inside of the lid. I'm not going to put the napkin in there, but it's perfectly fine if you want to cover that too. I'm going to take this Mod Podge. I'm just going to use the gloss that I had on hand. Once I figure out the best coverage so I don't have to use so many napkins, I'm going to start decoupaging it on. If you have any mishaps or accidents, it's so easy just to tear off a piece of the napkin and cover it up, especially if you get a design like this that is just kind of florals and you don't have to worry about matching anything. I'm going to pour my Mod Podge here on the top. Make sure I just have good coverage on it. You don't have to be very thick, but just make sure it's not too thin that it dries too quick for you. Once you have the Mod Podge on, take your napkin and lay it over top of that, and make sure you have most of the wrinkles and creases pressed out with your fingers. I like a little bit of that. I think it gives it a little bit of character. But if you want it to be smoother, just smooth it until you get the desired look that you're looking for. And then I'm going to trim off the excess here on the edges. And then once that's done, I'm going to take the Mod Podge after I trim off everything that's loose and put it down and pressing it with my fingers until I have a smooth surface. And then we're going to cover that up in a little bit with a coat of Mod Podge on top. Once I have the top covered, I'm going to do the edges. I'm just going to kind of do a tuck method, making sure that I pull that up on the ends, tuck it under, and then once I have that done, I'm going to put the Mod Podge on the edge and fold that over. These napkins are very forgiving. If you have a mishap with those, just put more Mod Podge on it and you can take another piece and lay over top of that. If you get extra Mod Podge on any part of the wood, just take a paper towel or a rag and just dab that off. And then once I get all the edges tucked down, I'm going to start on the next part. After I have the lid covered, I'm going to put a nice coat of Mod Podge on the outside of the napkin. This gives it just a better seal and also gives it a really pretty shine. If you have any excess pieces of napkin like I do here, I'm just going to take my fingernail and push it into the inside. Like I said, once the napkin's wet like that, it's really easy to work with. Here I'm showing you that I had a little bit of a bare spot there in the corner. Just take a piece of napkin, tear it off, lay it over it, and put a dab of Mod Podge on it, and you'll never even know that was there. think you're going to be really surprised once this dries just how pretty this looks and what a finished look this has. It looks like it's something that you would buy at Hobby Lobby or any high-end decor store. Next, I'm going to take another napkin, pull off that outside piece, throwing the inside white layer away or to the side. You can also use that to clean up some of the excess Mod Podge instead of using a paper towel or a rag. You could have opted to paint this entire box if you would rather have done that, or just paint the inside of the lid or the bottom of the part of it that you can see. I just wanted to cover the whole thing with this napkin because I thought it was so pretty, and the flowers that I'm going to use just make all these colors pop, and they make such a statement piece. I'm going to do the same thing here that I did with the top of the lid, just see how much coverage I can get with the napkin that I have, and try to make it all work with just this one piece. I'm going to cut it into strips and put that first strip on the front, folding it over to the inside, and then I'm going to go ahead and cover part of those edges too with the same napkin, and then I can just kind of piece it together with excess squares, because with this pattern, like I said, you really don't know where one part starts, one part ends. If you use a pattern that you need to match up, that would be different. You probably have to use several to get that same pattern, and but this way it just worked out really good. Just make sure that you put enough Mod Podge on the box and have it good and coated to lay your napkin on top of, and then just overlap that with your next pieces that you cut. I'm going to cut these in strips, and I'm just showing you here on that end. I had a little bit of a mess up. I pulled a little bit too much off. I'm going to do the same thing. Just take a little patch of that and Mod Podge it on. Can't even tell it happened there either. And then when this is finished and dried, I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to turn around to show you all the edges, and you'll see that nothing shows there. I'm going to do the same thing with the other sides. I'm going to just lay it over it, just making sure that you put enough Mod Podge under it and on top of it to seal. Absolutely, you could have covered the inside of the box or the bottom. I chose to paint the inside of the lid and the inside of the box. I didn't even have to do that. I just wanted it to be a color. And then on the bottom part, I just covered it so it didn't start peeling loose from the bottom. I did cover a little bit on the edge of the bottom. You could have covered the entire thing if you wanted to, or painted that. That's your complete choice, whatever you want to do. I just chose to do this since you're not going to see that anyway. After you have the whole napkin covered on the edges that you want to do, just take another coat of Mod Podge, make sure that you cover it good and have a good seal, and then let that dry. Next, I'm going to take this Admiral Blue water-based paint. I'm going to mix it with some clean water and make a faux stain. I didn't want to just paint it just straight paint. I wanted to be able to see the natural wood grain through it. So I'm going to mix that up real good and put a light coat on the inside of the lid and also inside the box. I'm going to take a paper towel or a rag and dab off the excess just so you can get that wood grain look through it. I thought this would be really pretty. I'm going to cover most of this up anyhow with flowers. Just I want it to be covered in case you could see any of that through it. Next, I'm going to take this little wooden dowel and cut it to hold my box open. I didn't want to glue the hinges because I figured over time that would come loose. So I'm going to use this dowel, cut it to the size that I want it, and then I'm going to take that faux stain that I made with water and paint the stick, and then I'm going to put some hot glue on the ends and hold the box lid open to the position I want so we can put our flowers in. This just kind of gives it a permanent hinge to keep it open. Next, I'm going to take this piece of foam from Dollar Tree. I'm going to lay it in my box, take my pencil and mark where it needs to be cut. Once I have that done, I'm going to cut that on the line, and then take the two pieces and glue them in the bottom to start putting the florals in. Before I put the florals into the foam, I wanted to go ahead and put those little decorative clasps back on the front of the box, just so it gets a little bit of detail. I'm just going to take my screwdriver and screw those back in. Before we add our florals, I'm just going to turn the box around here after it dries, just to show you the sheen that it has with the gloss Mod Podge, and show you just how pretty it looks when you can use a napkin to decoupage any unfinished wood surface. I had this greenery bush in my stash. You can pick up any greenery bush at Walmart or Dollar Tree. They have some really pretty things right now. I'm going to take my wire cutters and cut off these in sections and go ahead and start positioning them into the foam. I'm going to put some of the higher pieces in the back and kind of take my fingers and spread those out, and then just put them sporadically through it. I'm not going to glue these in, so I can change them out if I wanted to. Next, I'm going to take these purple flowers. They're fairly big, and I thought these would be a pretty statement piece. The napkins do have a floral look to them, and it has the corals and purples with the navy blue and greenery. I thought this would be a pretty pop of color, so I'm going to take 3 of the bigger heads and stick those in first to work around them. Next, I had these coral colored wild looking flowers. I thought these would be really pretty to give it some height, so I'm going to take my wire cutters and snip off several of these and just position them for the height in the back of the box, and also between the purple, just to give it some detail. I had these in my stash also. I think I got these at Joann. I don't know if these are called like purple thistles or exactly what they are, but I thought they'd be pretty. I wanted this box to kind of look like a box of wildflowers that were picked, and I thought all these flowers mixed in together brought that out. So I'm going to take these and just cut off a few of these in just a second, and then I had these little wildflowers too. In purple, I'm going to take those and put in the back of the box to give it some more height in with those coral ones, and then I'm going to take a look and see if I want to stick any through it in the front. Once I have those all snipped off and positioned, I'm going to take these little purple heads and twist them together, make sure that I can stick them in between the purple flowers, and I'm going to take several and just stick there in the front since they're a lot shorter. I had some like the purple, but I had them in the coral color, and I thought I could make them a little bit higher and stick those in the sides at the back. And also I'm going to take the higher one and put it straight there in the middle, just to give it a focal point, because I thought that tied everything in together really nicely. I had another one of those little greenery bushes, and I thought before I finished up I wanted to take a few of the pieces and tuck these into the front, just kind of like it's flowing out of the box. I didn't want to block the pretty napkin decoupage on the front. I just wanted to be able to see through that, and I'm going to just take my fingers and pull those out loosely and just let them hang out kind of freely, like it's just the whole box is just bursting open with flowers. Next, I wanted to take a couple more of those little purple heads and stick in through it, just to give it some depth here in the front. I'm going to take my fingers once I get those put in and just go through the whole arrangement, pulling out pieces and tucking in other pieces, just to get it to the look I want it to have. Okay, here's the finished product. I hope you enjoyed this DIY. It's a lot of fun to make. It will be so easy to change out different napkins and florals to make this your own unique creation. Just get anything that you like and go from there. As always, thanks for crafting along with me today. I hope you enjoyed this Decoupage napkin flower box. If you did, please like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any upcoming crafty content. Also, leave me a comment down below to say hi and let me know what you thought about today's DIY. Until next time, happy crafting! I enjoyed our time together. Thanks for watching. I linked another video here for more crafting inspiration. Be sure to check it out. Have a great day!